Hello, everyone. Welcome to AP Microeconomics. My name is Miss Dunlap, and I will be your teacher for this semester. So, what we're going to do is we're going to start off by talking about basic concepts of microeconomics. So, we're going to first off out there, and then we will kind of work our way through the rest of the course. So, so a quick quote to think about when it comes to economics is individuals and societies are forced to make choices because most resources are scarce. So we make our decisions, individuals as individual people, based on what resources are available and what is not. So we can say if we go to the Verizon store and we want an iPhone and there are no iPhones available at all, we'll have to go to the alternative and get, perhaps maybe a Samsung phone. So sometimes we're forced to make choices um, because of the amount of resources that are available. So, what is economics? So, economics is the study of how humans and societies choose to allocate scarce resources, why they choose to allocate them that way, and the consequences of those decisions. So, that's what economics is. It's not just always numbers, but it's just the way that we as a society or people react when there is a limited or unlimited amount of resources available to us. Now, his name is Adam Smith. He was a British economist who argued against government interference in economic markets. He famously wrote The Wealth of Nations, which he observed that an unregulated or free market was a remarkably efficient phenomenon. All right, so there are three questions to think about, or what an economic system should be doing. So, when we look at our economic system, we need to be able to ask these basic questions to see if our economic system is working efficiently. So the first question is, what will be produced with society's limited resources? Two, how will we produce the things we need and want? And three, how will society's output be distributed? This chart here, this chart here is the index of economic freedom, and basically this chart shows the most or greatest economic free country. So as you can see, Hong Kong is the most economic free country, and we in the United States, we came in 12th. As far as the least economic free is North Korea. So you can see the difference between the first one being Hong Kong and the last one being North Korea. Given that they're both in Asia, you can see the juxtaposition of this. And just a quick analysis, and to keep in mind that all nations, including the United States, must decide whether to rely on market signals or government directives to determine economic outcomes. Nations that rely the least on government intervention score highest on this index of economic freedom. So this was back in 2015. Keep that in mind, but I don't think it's too far off even today. Now, this course here, it deals with microeconomics. But there are two different types of economics. There's micro and there's macro. Micro, you can see as micro being small. So basically, we in this course we're going to be looking at the study of the interactions of buyers and sellers in the markets of particular goods and services, while the macroeconomics focuses on the study of aggregates and the overall commercial output and health of nations, including the analysis of factors such as unemployment, inflation, economic growth, and interest rates. So, if you can think of it in a modern standpoint, during the Great Depression, this was more of a macroeconomic problem because it spread nationwide and it even actually spilled over to other countries, which caused us to get into wars with other European countries because they were feeling the effects of the Depression because they were also dependent on our economic wealth as well. Now, what is scarcity? Now, by definition, scarcity means that human wants for goods, services, and resources exceed what is available. So basically, there's not enough to go around. Resources such as labor, tools, and raw materials are necessary to produce the goods and services we want, but they exist in limited supply. Now, what's the core problem of scarcity? Well, it's the fact that available resources are insufficient to satisfy all desired uses thereof. The imbalance between our desires and available resources forces us to make economic choices. Now, what are the economic resources or factors of production? Now, these are land, which include natural resources such as minerals or in oil, labor, which is work contributed by humans, capital. It's not just like money, but it's tools, equipment, and facilities. And entrepreneurship, the capacity to organize, develop, and manage a business that individuals and businesses use in the production of goods and services. So there's the factors of production is basically how you run a business. You need land to put in your headquarters. You need labor to make the things have that you're trying to produce. You need capital, you need the equipment to get stuff in and out. And you need enterprise, you need a body of people to help and develop and organize and manage the business, like CEOs, CFOs, human resources, those types of people that keep business up and running. As far as land, like I stated before, it refers to not just to the ground, but to all natural resources. So this includes crude oil, water, air, and minerals are all included. Labor, it just refers to the skills and abilities to produce goods and services. Both quantity and the quality of human resources are included in the labor factor. Capital, as I stated earlier, refers to final goods produced for use in further production. For example, residents of fishing villages in southern Thailand braid huge fishing nets to catch more fish. So, if you want more, you gotta make more. You want to make more money, you gotta make more. You have to produce more. In entrepreneurship, lastly, it just refers to the assembling of resources to produce new or improved products and technologies. Now, opportunity costs. Now, by definition, it means the most desired goods and services that are foregone in order to obtain something. So, every time we choose to use scarce resources in one way to give up the opportunity to use them in another way. Opportunity cost is what is given up in order to get something else. Opportunity costs are the opposite of scarcity. They are relevant to the individual, which is micro, decision making as to social, macro, decisions about resource use. later you will learn how to calculate opportunity cost. So we will certainly go later on in the course, possibly next week, on how we would calculate opportunity costs in a numerical sense. Now, some examples of opportunity costs. Famously, LeBron James, he went to the NBA and gave up the opportunity to go to college. So obviously, that kind of worked out for him very well. Another example is by building more weapon systems, we give up the opportunity to produce more civilian goods. And lastly, another opportunity cost or an example of that would be free lunch has an opportunity cost. The resources used to produce the lunch could have been used for something else. So everything that we do involves an opportunity cost. Every decision that we make involves an opportunity cost. Models. Now, models are graphical and mathematical tools created by economists to better understand complicated processes in economics. Models include graphs and mathematical models. Now, ceteris paribus, it is a Latin phrase meaning all else equal. It's the assumption of nothing else changing. An agent is some entity making decision. This can be an individual, a household, a business, a city, or even government of a country. So it can be pretty much anything making a decision in regards to their personal or micro economy. Now, incentives are rewards or punishments associated with a possible action. Agents make decisions based on incentives. Rational decision making. An agent is rational if they use all available information to choose an action that makes them as well off as possible. Economic models assume that agents are rational. Positive analysis. Analytical thinking about objective facts and cause and effect relationships that are testable, such as how much a good will be sold when a price changes. So, for some examples, include programs like welfare reduce the incentive for people to work. Raising taxes on the wealthy to pay for government programs grows the economy, and raising taxes on the wealthy slows economic growth. On the other hand, normative analysis, unlike positive analysis, normative analysis is subjective thinking about what we should value or a course of action that should be taken, such as the importance of environmental factors and the approach to managing them. Some examples include paying people who aren't working even though they could work, wrong and unfair. The government should raise taxes on the wealthy for helping the poor. Economics aggregates measures how the unemployment rate of inflation, and national output that summarize all markets in an economy rather than individual markets. Economic aggregates are frequently used as measures of the economic performance of an economy. So, like I said, back to the Great Depression. So, at that time, we're measuring unemployment rate. Unemployment rate was low because businesses were shutting down, inflation was high, and the national output was not. We weren't bringing a whole lot of exporting because the businesses were shutting down and we weren't making money. So these are some of the economic aggregates that were measured at the Great Depression. And as you can tell, all those things increase and some decrease because of the economic state of the country at that time. And lastly, command economy versus market economy. So, a command economy is all about government. Government is always part of the economy. They are the integral part of how the economy is ran. While a free market or market economy is where the government kind of takes a step back and they take more of a they take a lenient role in the economy. Well, this concludes this lecture on the basic concepts of microeconomics. We will kind of learn how math plays a key role in microeconomics. So get your pencils and your calculators ready because we're going to be doing some math. So this will lay the foundation of making simple calculations during the course. I hope you enjoyed the course or this presentation, and I will see you next week. Have a wonderful day. Bye.